Hey everyone, and welcome to Boxmining Daily. So today we're going to take a quick look at the market first of all, followed by quite a lot of news from Amazon. So Amazon has a new patent coming out relating to block stream and user data streaming, and we're going to talk about the implications of that. We also have China telecom company Huawei. They're announcing a blockchain as a service platform using Hyperledger. Finally, of course, we're going to talk about PayPal and the ability to replace payment on the internet. PayPal has some new really quite horrible policies coming through, including more fees, and this might be a great time for cryptocurrencies to shine. So all this and more on today's Boxmining Daily, and of course everything covered here is my personal opinion and not financial advice. So taking a quick look at the market today, in the top two coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum, we don't have a huge change, but Bitcoin Cash is getting some love. The market cap overall has actually grown to $346 billion, and that's because of the rise of a few certain cryptocurrencies. So there's a very bullish charge on Monaco. So Monaco, they're doing the Visa whole deal, and they recently got listed on Bithumb, which led to a 71% increase in value, showing the power of these Korean exchanges and Korean fever potentially returning and kicking up the market again. We have also Pundi X. They're still pushing up. Over the past few days, Pundi has been growing quite a lot over the announcement of buybacks and also their new units of their cash machines coming out. So I've talked about that recently, and they're still pushing up. We also have BAT, Basic Attention Token, Wax, and even Mifro. Mifro is still going up, and I talked about that recently. They're the social platform in Asia when they're introducing the concept of social mining, the idea of creating content and even potentially rivaling things like Instagram. So let's talk about this post that I saw on Reddit/cryptocurrencies, which is about PayPal. So this guy's announcing RIP PayPal December 1998 to April 2008. Basically, PayPal is introducing a few new policies, including a new flat fee for transactions, which goes up to $2.99 or $4.99 depending on which country you're sending it to. Combining with that is no more stealth accounts and no more unverified accounts. So they're really stepping that up, and it goes to show that cryptocurrencies can actually reduce payment fees friction, especially if you're sending this cross-border. So it does mean that cryptocurrencies can present a competitive advantage. But that being said, of course, crypto has a few barriers to mass adoptions yet. So I've seen this kind of comment about RIP PayPal, but I feel like crypto in terms of two major points. Cryptocurrency actually ironically needs to be a little bit less volatile so merchants can accept and hold it. So in terms of long term, they can really pay off their fiat kind of debts, so to speak. And also another issue with cryptocurrencies for mass adoption is keeping cryptocurrencies safe. So, recently we saw this whole Ian Bellina debacle where he got hacked for $2 million. Whether you believe he got hacked or not, there are a lot of people messaging me that they've been hacked before, and this is a big problem in crypto. Keeping your crypto safe using a Ledger hardware wallet or a Trezor hardware wallet is really important. And that's one point of education people really need to get across before crypto gets adopted mainstream. Next up, we have Amazon. So Amazon received a patent for streaming data marketplace. So the idea is that they can enable real-time gathering of intelligence and combine that with potential cryptocurrency transactions. So they can potentially link up Bitcoin addresses where people live. This might be paving road for the future for two things actually. One, potentially they might be accepting cryptocurrencies in the future, and they want to make sure that these addresses link up with real user addresses so that there's less fraud in the system. So it might be paving to accepting crypto on the Amazon platforms, be it Twitch or on Amazon itself. And the second thing is that they want to use that and combine that with law enforcement. So by combining Bitcoin addresses with real people and real identities, they can potentially help law enforcement, even maybe the taxman or the cops, to prevent fraud or tax evasion. Overall, this is a maturation for blockchain technology and paving the way for mainstream adoption. To have the system in place, it does mean that Bitcoin transactions will be less and less private, and it might mean that privacy coins might have a big boost in the future for people who want to keep their information private. But also having the system in place does mean that there's better fraud prevention and merchant protection as well. So Amazon merchants might be have an easier time accepting cryptocurrencies because they know that this protection is offered to them. Next up, we have SafeDroid, and they post something that's really stupid in the ICO space. So I don't really know what came across in their mind, but SafeDroid recently raised around $50 million in their ICO, and they posted a Twitter video saying, thank guys, over and out. I'm gonna have a vacation, and they closed their website as well. So they pretended to have an exit scam, but actually their CEO came out and said, you know what, they're not gone, it was just a prank, it was a PR stunt. But honestly, this is like the worst PR stunt possible, because now you have a bad reputation because you made people think you were exit scamming, which I have no idea why anyone in the world would do so. And it just shows a lack of maturity. Because honestly, in this space, we need less jokers. We need more people with showing maturity, showing that this cryptocurrency space, they're taking things seriously and they're trying to make a real product. Lastly, we have Huawei. So Huawei is one of the biggest telecom communications in China. They provide a lot of the internet backbone infrastructure and also phones. If you ever used a Huawei phone, you probably know that they're pretty big in China. So they're releasing blockchain as a service. This is becoming bigger and bigger, and it just goes to show that China's not leaving the blockchain space. There's so much happening over there, and the fact that big companies like Huawei are pushing blockchain as a service and using Hyperledger means that this technology itself is not going to go anywhere. I do want to cover Hyperledger in the future, so I will do a comparison between blockchain and Hyperledger, because Hyperledger is an open source blockchain by the Linux Foundation, and it's a little bit different from the public blockchains we have today. So I do want to talk about that in the future. Lastly, my talk and session in the Dubai Conference Futurama Innovators Summit has been finalized. My session is going to be with Data Dash, Nicholas Murden there, and we're going to talk about how blockchain and media is related. This event is combining blockchain and Dubai. We seen Dubai with their ridiculous amounts of just extravagance, and I want to see how that space is shaping up there. And also, they're going to try to be at the forefront of blockchain technology. So I'm really excited to see what's really going to happen in Dubai and their actual amount of interest for blockchain technology. Sometimes you only can really gauge it when you're actually there and meeting them up front. So I have a link for the conference down below, and if you use the code Boxmining, you get a 20% off for the conference. It is an event in Dubai, so the event isn't that cheap, so to speak. But the good news is that I am working with the guys there to be able to broadcast and show you a lot of the event. This is going to be a stark contrast from Consensus, where Consensus was very private. They weren't media friendly, and last year, in fact, they filed a copyright complaint against Omar Ban Crypto for streaming the event there. So that was absolutely stupid. So this event, I'll be able to show you guys what's happening there if you can't go, and if you are going, if you're interested in going, check out the link below. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this whole Amazon deal. Do you think that their patent is going to be for the good and eventually pushing adoption on Amazon platforms, or do they just want to assist law enforcement and really just make a quick buck with the government here?